Liam had never been this far from Earth before. The small transport ship slowed as it reached the orbit of Outpost T-19, a joint research station floating near the edge of a peaceful galactic zone. It wasn't a famous place. It wasn't even important. But to Liam, it felt like stepping into another world. He was one of the few humans chosen for a new exchange program. His role? Maintain alien biotech systems, machines so advanced they almost felt alive. Liam stepped off the shuttle with a simple bag over his shoulder. He was 24, a little nervous, and not very special. At least, that's what he thought. The outpost was quiet, glowing softly with blue lights. Alien engineers walked past him, some tall with smooth skin, others shorter with wide eyes. They barely glanced his way. To them, humans were still new. He was greeted by a voice from a hovering translation drone. Human technician Liam, it said in a calm tone. You are assigned to Biochamber 3. Begin now. Liam sighed. No warm welcome. No handshake. Just work. He found the chamber and stepped inside. Strange glowing roots ran through the walls. Part plant, part machine. They were alive, somehow, connected to the power core of the base. Liam had read about this tech, but it was still hard to understand. His job was to scan and maintain the systems, not to fix anything big. But fate had other plans. As he touched a glowing panel on the wall, something flickered. A spark of light jumped from the surface and danced up his arm. Liam pulled back in surprise. Then came a voice, soft, uncertain. Excuse me, are you the human engineer? Liam turned. Standing at the entrance was a young alien woman. She had soft, natural beauty, with pale blue, purplish skin, small elf-like ears, and deep silver eyes that looked kind and curious. She wore a long tunic in teal color, unlike the usual white lab coats. I'm Alari, she said gently. They sent me to assist you. I'm still learning. Liam gave a small smile. Hi, I'm Liam. I think I already broke something. Alari walked over carefully and looked at the panel. Her fingers hovered just above it. This device hasn't worked in decades, she whispered. We don't know how to turn it on. Liam raised an eyebrow. Well, it just kind of lit up when I touched it. Alari looked at him, eyes wide. You activated it? Before he could answer, the machine pulsed again, this time brighter. A beam of soft light shot out, scanning Alari from head to toe. She froze, in place. The walls vibrated lightly like the system had just woken up from a long dream. Liam stepped back. That wasn't me again, was it? Alari didn't respond. Her eyes were locked on the interface as symbols began to appear across it, symbols no one had seen in years. But to Liam, they didn't look alien at all. They looked like code. I think I can read this, he said slowly. Alari turned to him in disbelief. That's not possible. Only the first builders could understand it. Liam shrugged. It's similar to old human coding languages. Not exact, but close enough. He reached forward and tapped a few keys. The machine responded immediately, showing a diagram of a humanoid figure, Alari's body, being slowly altered by something. Alari touched her chest gently. I feel strange, she said quietly. Like something inside me shifted. Liam's eyes widened. Maybe we should call someone. Alari shook her head. No. If the others find out this machine is active, and that it affected me, they might shut it down, or worse, take me away for tests. Liam looked at her seriously. Then we figure this out together. I won't let anything happen to you. She stared at him for a moment. Then for the first time she smiled, a soft, thankful smile. But deep within the system something else had awakened. Far away, an old satellite caught the signal and sent out a ping. Unknown coordinates, unknown energy. One simple message returned. Sentinel. Core reactivated, monitoring begins. And back in the chamber, Alari's skin began to glow. not with light but with a soft blush of red. The next morning, Alari woke up in her quarters feeling different. Her body pulsed with a quiet energy, and her skin, usually a pale, purplish blue, had a warm, reddish hue that shimmered in the light. At first she thought it was just a dream, maybe a side effect of the interface beam. But when she stood and looked in the mirror, the truth stared back at her. She touched her face. Her features were the same, but sharper somehow, clearer. Her eyes sparkled like polished silver and her body felt lighter, stronger, like she could run across the walls if she wanted to. Her heart raced. What happened to me? She rushed to the lab in a hurry, hoping no one would notice the change, but they did. As she walked past others in the corridor, their heads turned. Whispers followed her. Is that Alari? She looks different. She's glowing red. She lowered her eyes and walked faster. Inside Biochamber 3, Liam was already there. He was sitting in front of the strange console, flipping through lines of code that had appeared overnight. When Alari entered, he stood up immediately. Alari, are you okay? You look... He stopped, blinking at her. I know, she said, her voice softer than usual. I saw it too. He stepped closer, concerned. You're turning red. Not in a bad way, just glowing. Like the machine did something permanent. Alari nodded. I feel changed. It's not painful. Just powerful. Like I've been upgraded, but I didn't ask for it. Liam rubbed the back of his neck. I kept thinking about last night. That machine, it only responded when you were close, but the trigger was me. She looked at the screen. Is it still active? He pointed. Not only active, it's rewriting itself. I translated a part of it. It's running something called a synergy enhancement sequence. Alari's eyes widened. That's ancient tech. Our ancestors believed in perfecting life through harmony, not control. But the knowledge was lost. Maybe not lost, Liam replied. Maybe locked, waiting. He brought up a 3D scan of her from the previous day and overlaid it with the current reading. Her entire body structure had shifted subtly. Bones stronger, muscles more efficient, neural paths enhanced. And yet, she was still her. I don't know how to say this without sounding weird, Liam said carefully. But it's like the machine turned you into the ideal version of yourself. Not human ideal, not alien ideal, your ideal. Alari looked at the data in silence. For a long time, she said nothing. Then, Liam, I think you were the key. He blinked. Me? She nodded. This machine never responded to anyone before. But when you touched it, it woke up. Why? He thought for a moment. Maybe human DNA has something that reacts with the code, or maybe the machine was made to respond to a new kind of mind, something unbound by old rules. Suddenly, a high-pitched alarm rang across the outpost. The console flashed with a warning. External signal detected. Alari ran to the panel. Something is watching us from outside the system. Liam stared at the readout. It's bouncing off an old satellite. Someone, or something, got the same signal this machine sent out. More messages appeared. Analyzing lifeform.energy pattern. Reawakened. Source. Hybrid activation detected. Alari froze. Hybrid? That means me. Liam's face went serious. We need to tell the council. No, she said quickly. If they find out I've been changed by forbidden tech, they'll treat me like a weapon, not a person. Liam took a deep breath. Then we do this quietly. We learn more. We understand what the machine did, and why. Together. She looked at him. There was fear in her eyes, but also trust. He gave her a small smile. I'm not leaving you to face this alone. Alari finally smiled back. Thank you, Liam. But even as they stood side by side, the stars beyond the outpost shimmered. In a dark part of space, a ship turned its sensors toward the reawakened signal. Its captain stared at the reading and whispered, She's alive. After all this time. One of them has returned. The next day, Alari and Liam were called to the outpost's central chamber. The council had seen the alerts. Strange data bursts had been picked up by satellites, and one of them clearly showed a power surge from Biochamber 3. The outpost leaders, 3 aliens from different species, sat behind a round table. Their faces were serious, and their voices, calm but sharp. "Explain what happened," one of them said. Liam glanced at Alari. She gave a small nod. He stepped forward. "We activated an old machine, not on purpose. It reacted to my touch. Then it scanned Alari. We didn't know what it would do." One of the leaders, a tall alien with metallic eyes, leaned forward. "What machine?" Liam pointed at a screen. "It called itself the Synergy Enhancer, and it changed her, improved her." Gasps filled the room. "You touched it?" Another asked. "No one has been able to activate that device for hundreds of years." Alari stepped in. "We didn't plan it, but now it's active and I'm different. My body is stronger. My mind feels clearer. But I'm still me." A long silence followed. Then the elder leader spoke. "That device is from the first builders. It was locked long ago. We believed it could only respond to those with specific genetic markers. And yet, it responded to a human." Liam raised his hand slowly. "I think I know why. The coding inside the machine uses a mix of alien and human logic. Some of it felt like old Earth programming. Maybe it needed someone who could understand both worlds." The leaders looked at each other, whispering quietly in their own languages. Finally, the metallic-eyed one turned to them. "The problem is not just the activation. The signal it sent has drawn attention. There are beings, dangerous ones, who hunted enhanced individuals like Alari in the past. If they realize she exists, they will come." Alari's eyes widened. "You mean the Kothari?" The room went quiet. Everyone understood the threat. The Kothari were a race of warlike hunters. Long ago, they had wiped out those who were enhanced by the old machines. They believed such beings were a danger to balance, and they destroyed entire colonies to stop their return. "If they come here," the elder warned, "they won't ask questions." Liam clenched his fists. "Then we prepare, we protect her." "You?" one of the leaders scoffed. "You are a technician, human, not a warrior." Liam didn't back down. "That machine chose me to activate it. Maybe I'm not a warrior, but I can learn. I can fight in my own way." Alari looked at him with surprise, then quietly with pride. The council gave them temporary clearance to study the machine more, but warned them not to use it again. A security drone was placed at the chamber door, and still, Alari felt like she was being watched. Later that night, they returned to the lab. The machine was quiet now, almost like it was sleeping. Liam sat at a console. "I ran more checks. The enhancer didn't just boost your strength. It boosted everything. Speed, vision, reaction time, even how fast your brain processes emotion and language. So, I'm faster and smarter?" Alari asked. He smiled. "Kind of like the best version of yourself." She touched the side of the machine. "Why me, though?" "I don't think it was about you," Liam said softly. "I think it was about us. The way we were standing. The bond we had. Human touch mixed with alien code. The system reacted to something. Shared." Alari looked down at her hand. It still carried a reddish glow. "You think this was meant to happen?" Liam nodded. "Maybe the first builders hoped someone would come along. Someone from a new race, not burdened by old rules. Someone who could connect the pieces." Their eyes met. For a moment, everything was quiet. Then the lights dimmed. Another alert appeared on the screen. "Unauthorized scan detected, tracking origin." Liam jumped to the console. "Something is pinging us again. This one's stronger. It's not just watching us. It's searching for Alari." The coordinates showed a location at the edge of the system. Far enough to be safe, but close enough to be worrying. Alari whispered. They're coming. And far across space, a dark ship floated among the stars. Inside, a cloaked figure watched the monitor. A red dot flashed on the screen, marked, Enhanced Detected. Prepare to engage. The stars outside the outpost glowed quietly, but the peace was fading. Alari sat alone in her quarters, staring at her hands. The soft red glow had become brighter since yesterday. Not burning, just warm, like a quiet fire under her skin. She pressed her palm against her heart and felt the steady beat. But it was no longer just hers. Something had awakened inside her. Something ancient. The door chimed. Come in, she said softly. Liam entered with a tablet in his hand and a concerned look on his face. They confirmed it, he said. The signal that scanned us, it came from a Kothari scout ship. Alari's breath caught in her throat. So they know. Yeah, Liam nodded. They know something was reactivated here, and they're getting closer. She looked at him, her silver eyes filled with worry. What do we do? Liam sat across from her. We prepare. I talked to a few others on the science team. They want to help, but the council told everyone to stay out of it. Of course they did, she whispered. They're afraid of me now. No, Liam said firmly. They're afraid of what others will do to you. You're not just Alari anymore. You're history brought to life. She looked away. I never wanted this. I just wanted to learn, to help. And you still can, Liam said. But now we have to do it in a new way. He tapped the tablet. I copied part of the enhancer's coding. I think I can modify it, make it stabilize your form. Right now you're still changing, right? She nodded. Every morning I feel a little different, stronger, but also more distant, like I'm moving away from myself. Then let's keep you grounded, he said. Let's control it before it controls you. They both returned to Biochamber 3 late that night. The hallways were quiet. The lights dimmed to night mode. The machine still pulsed faintly like a sleeping beast. Liam placed the tablet near the console. I can upload a limiter, not to stop the enhancement, but to slow it down. Will it hurt? Alari asked. No, I promise. But you'll feel a little heavy, maybe. She nodded. Do it. As he typed, she stepped into the beam again. The light scanned her body and the console lit up, recognizing her at once. This time the symbols were gentler, like the machine had accepted her fully. Liam uploaded the code. The lights flickered, then dimmed. Alari stepped out, breathing slowly. It worked. I feel balanced again. Liam smiled. Good. Then the console turned red. Incoming vessel, identified, Kothari Hunter class. Ite, 26 hours. They both stared at the message. Liam whispered, They're not scouting anymore. They're coming. By morning, the entire outpost was buzzing with nervous energy. The council didn't make a public announcement, but word spread quickly. A Kothari warship was heading straight for them, and no one believed it was just passing. The council summoned Liam and Alari again. You have brought danger to this outpost, the elder said. Your actions awakened a threat. We didn't mean to, Liam replied calmly. But now that it's here, we can't run. Another leader stood. We must send Alari away. Hide her on a deep space shuttle. The Kothari are looking for her. Alari stood firm. No, I'm not running. You would risk all our lives? I would rather fight with honor than run in fear, she said clearly. And I won't let others suffer because of me. The room fell silent. Then Liam spoke. We have a plan. If you give us a chance, we can defend the outpost, not with ships, but with brains and tech. The council didn't fully agree, but they gave them limited permission. Back in the lab, Liam worked fast. He started modifying the outpost's outer defenses, linking them to the old system inside the enhancer. Alari trained her body to adapt, to her strength. lifting heavy containers, dodging moving drones, sharpening her reflexes. They weren't soldiers, but they were something better. Determined. Later that evening, Alari walked to the observation window. The stars looked so close out here. She touched the glass with her glowing fingers. Liam joined her. Scared? A little, she admitted. But not alone, he smiled. Good, because I'm not going anywhere. Behind them, the console flashed one more time. Kothari vessel entering system. Prepare. The sky above the outpost darkened as the Kothari warship entered the system. Even from orbit, the ship looked menacing, long, black, and silent. It didn't send a message. It didn't respond to hails. It simply hovered, watching. Inside the control room, the leaders of the outpost gathered with worried faces. Alari stood at the back of the room, arms crossed, her skin glowing faintly red beneath her robe. Liam stood beside her, eyes locked on the screen. They're scanning us, one technician said. They're looking for me, Alari whispered. The elder turned. We have prepared an escape shuttle. It's hidden beyond the moons. You must leave, Alari, now. She shook her head. I said I won't run. The council leader stepped forward. You don't understand, child. The Kothari believe enhanced beings like you are a threat to the galaxy. They've destroyed entire planets to stop what they fear. Liam spoke firmly. That's why we don't give them a reason to fear her. We show them what a real alliance looks like. We defend ourselves not by attacking but by protecting. The council was silent for a long time. Finally, they gave a small nod. Then prepare. You have one day. Back in Biochamber 3, Liam and Alari worked through the night. Liam connected the ancient enhancer to the outpost's power grid. I'm going to use its energy to boost our defense shield. Not a weapon, just protection. If the Kothari attack, it'll give us time to respond. Alari trained her mind and body in the simulator room. Her reactions were faster than anyone's. Her movement was smooth and controlled, but she still felt unsure inside. What if I lose control? She asked quietly one evening. You won't, Liam said, because you care. That's your greatest strength, she smiled. Even after all this, you still believe in me. I do, he replied. Because I've seen you fight. Not with power, but with heart. As the final hours approached, others from the outpost began to help. Scientists, engineers, even guards joined them. Word had spread. Alari wasn't a monster, she was one of them. And Liam was their bridge. Together, they set up sensor beacons, charged the shield lines, and prepared the outer gates. As the sun disappeared behind the planet, the sky turned deep purple. And the Kothari warship moved. Alarms rang across the base. They're descending. Shields at full. The Kothari ship dropped from orbit with quiet force, settling just outside the outpost. A loud vibration shook the walls as it activated. A landing claw. Everyone held their breath. Then a voice came through the speakers. Deep, cold, and clear. Send out the enhanced one, or we will take her by force. Alari stood in the center of the control room. She didn't wait for permission. She walked out. Liam followed her without a word. They reached the outer gate, where a group of Kothari soldiers had already stepped out of the ship. Tall, armored, with glowing red eyes. Their leader stood at the front holding a staff. You are the one, the leader said, staring at Alari. You were enhanced by forbidden tech. Alari lifted her chin. I was changed by something ancient. But I am not your enemy. You are a danger, the Kothari leader replied. That technology nearly destroyed us once before. We will not allow it again. Liam stepped forward. She didn't choose this, and she's done nothing wrong. The Kothari leader narrowed his eyes. You are human. It figures. Only your kind would speak for a weapon. She's not a weapon, Liam said strongly. She's a person, and she's not alone. Behind them, the outpost gates opened. Dozens of aliens stood side by side. Scientists, workers, guards, all unarmed but unafraid. One of them stepped forward. She saved my daughter last week. Another added, "She helped repair our life support system." And another, "She is our friend." The Kothari leader looked around, expression unreadable. "Then let us test her truth." He raised his staff and sent a shockwave toward Liam. Before it hit, Allery moved like a flash. Her body shimmered red as she blocked the blow with her arm. The ground cracked beneath her, but she held strong. Liam stared at her in awe. She wasn't afraid. She was standing tall, calm, balanced. The Kothari paused. "You would shield a human?" he asked. "I would shield anyone," Allery said, "because that is what strength is meant for." There was silence. Then, slowly, the Kothari lowered his staff. "Perhaps," he said, "not all enhanced are a threat." He turned. "We will observe from afar, but if you become dangerous, we will return." The Kothari stepped back into their ship, and just like that, they left. The silence didn't last. Even though the Kothari ship had left, tension stayed heavy over the outpost like a shadow. No one truly believed it was over. The elders held private meetings. Extra guards were posted near every entry point, and the skies were scanned every hour. Liam and Allery sat together in Biochamber 3. The machine was quiet now, its light dim, but still alive. "They're watching," Allery whispered. Liam nodded. "They're waiting for something, maybe a mistake. They still think I'm dangerous." He looked at her carefully. "Do you think you are?" Allery paused. Her skin had returned to a soft reddish blue, calm and warm. She had full control. Now, no bursts of power, no random changes. She was stable. But her mind still carried the weight of what might come. "No," she said. "Not unless they force me to be." The Kothari returned 3 days later, but this time they didn't speak. Without warning, a smaller ship detached from the main one and landed directly on the outpost's surface. It released a strange pulse, something like a signal but also a weapon. The power grid shook. Lights flickered. Shields dropped. "They've disabled our defenses," one technician shouted. "Reactivate the grid," the council leader ordered. "It's not responding." Liam ran to the console. "They're using a signal to jam everything." The message was clear. The Kothari had changed their minds. They weren't here to talk anymore. They were here to take Allery, by force. Inside the lab, Liam turned to Allery. "There's no time. We have to use the enhancer again." Allery hesitated. The council said, "This isn't their decision anymore," Liam said. "They trusted us once. We can't let everyone down now." He activated the old machine. The chamber glowed as the energy flowed into the system. The ancient symbols reappeared, this time not cold or threatening, but warm and ready. Allery stepped forward and let the beam scan her again. She didn't resist it. This time, she guided it. Her body lifted gently into the air. Red light surrounded her like a calm storm. The energy moved through her, not just changing her, but listening to her. When she stepped down, she was stronger. Her eyes shined bright silver. Her skin was smooth and glowing, her movements balanced and graceful. Liam stared in amazement. "You're not just enhanced now. You're in control." Allery looked at her hands, then at Liam. "Let's protect our home." Outside, Kothari soldiers began to march toward the gates. Allery stood at the entrance, alone. When the soldiers saw her, they raised their weapons. But before they could fire, the ground beneath them shifted. A wave of energy burst outward from Allery's feet, gentle but powerful. The soldiers stopped, confused. Their weapons froze in their hands. Their tech malfunctioned. And above them, the sky flickered. Liam had connected the enhancer's power to the outpost's core. Now it was protecting the entire base, through Allery's control. She raised her voice, calm and clear. "I don't want to fight, but I will not be taken." One of the Kothari generals stepped forward. "You are not allowed to exist." "I didn't ask for this gift," she replied, "but I will use it to protect, not destroy." The general fired. A sharp blast of energy shot through the air, fast and deadly. In a blink, Alari moved. She placed herself in front of a group of civilians nearby. Her arm caught the beam, and the force was absorbed into her body like a ripple in water. She pushed her palm forward, and the energy returned, not as an attack, but as a wave that disabled every Cathari weapon at once. Stunned, the soldiers fell back. The general tried to rise, but Alari walked forward slowly. "You want to know what I've become?" she said, her voice soft but strong. "I am not your enemy. I am the proof that power doesn't always lead to war." The general stared up at her, and for the first time, he lowered his eyes. Then he spoke into his communicator. "Retreat. The bum." Kothari ships lifted into the sky once more, rising silently into orbit and then vanishing into the stars. Afterward, the outpost was quiet, but not with fear, with peace. The elders met with Liam and Alari. "You saved us," one of them said. "No," Alari replied. "We all saved each other." The machine was powered down, not broken, but resting, as if it had done its part. Liam looked at Alari. "What will you do now?" She smiled. "Live, help, learn more, and maybe teach others what I've learned." "And me?" he asked, jokingly. She looked at him with warmth. "You stay close. I'll need a smart human at my side." 1 week had passed since the Cathari left the system. Outpost T-19 had returned to its usual calm, but nothing was the same. Alari was no longer just a curious alien girl who worked with machines. She was a symbol now, a protector, a bridge between the past and the future, and Liam. He was no longer just a technician. He had helped unlock something ancient, something powerful, and he had done it not with weapons or orders, but with patience, kindness, and a curious mind. They stood together near the central garden dome, where a small group of aliens and humans had gathered for the outpost's first joint ceremony. "This feels strange," Liam whispered, adjusting his collar. "You look fine." Alari smiled. "Even if your shirt is wrinkled." Liam laughed. "I'm an engineer, not a diplomat." She touched his arm gently. "You're more than that now." The council leaders stepped forward and raised their hand. "Today, we honor 2 individuals who showed us that power and peace can exist together, that differences can be strength, and that fear can be overcome by understanding." Everyone clapped. Alari blushed a bit. Her reddish skin warmed slightly brighter. After the ceremony, the crowd slowly left and the garden quieted down. Liam and Alari sat beneath a strange glowing tree, its leaves softly moving in the breeze from the dome's air filters. "I've been thinking," Alari said. "Maybe I should leave the outpost for a while." Liam turned to her. "Why? You just became a hero here." She nodded. "Yes, but this isn't just about me. The enhancer, it's part of something bigger. I want to find out where it came from, who built it, and why it responded to you." "You want to go on a journey?" She smiled. "Not alone. I want you to come with me." Liam was quiet for a moment, then grinned. "So we'll travel across space, discover lost tech, maybe argue over food and sleep schedules?" "Exactly," she laughed. "And maybe help others like us along the way." "Then I'm in," Liam said, "but I'm packing my own snacks." 2 weeks later, a small research vessel stood ready at the far end of the landing bay. It wasn't a warship. It had no weapons. Just scanners, tools, and enough room for 2 travelers who had no interest in starting fights, only in discovering what was forgotten. Before they left, the council gave them a gift, a small crystal core from the enhancer. It pulsed faintly in Liam's hand. "It's a fragment of the machine," the elder said. "It still holds some power, but more importantly, it holds memory." Alari looked at it with awe. "We'll protect it. And we will wait," the elder said. "For what comes next?" As the ship lifted into the stars, Liam looked out the window. "You know," he said, "a few weeks ago I was just fixing broken lights and drinking recycled coffee." Alari laughed. "And now?" He turned to her, smiling. Now I'm flying next to the most incredible being in the galaxy. Her cheeks turned red again. I still blush when you say things like that. He smiled wider. Then I'll keep saying them. Outside the ship, the stars stretched out like a sea of light. Their mission was not written in any book. There were no orders, no map. Only curiosity, hope, and the bond between a human and an alien girl who had once been scared to change. Now she welcomed it, and deep within the ship, the small crystal pulsed, quiet, steady, and ready for what was to come. Far across the galaxy, in a hidden chamber beneath an old moon, something stirred. Machines long forgotten blinked to life. An old voice echoed in silence. The bond has been made. The path has opened. Let them come. But Liam and Alari didn't know that yet. They only knew that they had each other, and that was enough. For now.